What's going on, Washington fans? Welcome to the JTFB channel, and it is Combine Week for those that care. I love the Combine. Some people think it's extremely boring. Really wanted to go this year, but I decided might as well not with me trying to move back home and everything. So I will be there next year, though. I promise you that. But nonetheless, guys, I just want to break down the Combine. I'll probably go live. I don't know about tomorrow night, but the night after I probably will. But I just want to go live, chop it up with y'all, talk some NFL draft, talk about the Combine, and everything just going on, some players that stuck out to me. I mean, we've already seen some crazy numbers. We knew this was a very athletic group of, especially on the D line, D tackle, interior D line, but then also same with linebackers as well, which they are doing their drills still right now. So I'm keeping an eye on that on the back in the background right now. So I just want to kind of talk to y'all about some players that I really like, especially for Washington, guys that really stuck out to me. Go over some numbers of some guys that have already done the drills and stuff like that. Talk about obviously some of the top guys, especially on the D tackle, but we'll look at edge too. I think, in my opinion, edge is probably likely the best player that's going to be available at 29. If we stay with that pick at 29, I think edge would have to be one of the best players there. What's going on? Ranger said James P. Jr. looked good. Yeah, he looks really good. Obviously, there's some concerns there with motivation, not really so much character, but just his motor. Some teams don't have him on their board because for that reason they just don't know how motivated he is. I think he's pretty daggone motivated. I mean, he ran that 40 pretty effortlessly. So I was impressed by what I saw by James Pierce Jr., but I don't see him getting out of the top. I would be shocked if he makes it to 20. Absolutely shocked. Thoughts on our chances of getting Shamar? Very, very low. I would say near impossible. About the same as getting Abdul Carter. Shamar is another one of these guys that went crazy. Shamar Stewart, I mean, they're comping him to Myles Garrett. Has the build, has the athleticism, has the speed. People are going to talk about production, stuff like that. We can talk about that as well. Just, kind of what comes with that. But appreciate everyone jumping in here in the chat and on the live. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button as well. We're blowing up the channel. Appreciate y'all. Nick Scorton did some different drills. I don't think he didn't run the 40, but they had him doing some of the drills, which I like seeing those drills, like the bend drills, with the hula hoop and going stuff like that. And he looked really good. I thought the thing with Nick Scorton is people are kind of struggling of where to kind of put him because he was big, but he actually lost some weight and he actually trimmed down. I want to see, because I have the Combine stuff pulled up on my computer now. I really want to see if I click on somebody, if it pulls up their weight and stuff. So I'm on NFL.com. I'll show you and I'll pull it up for y'all, so you can see it as well. But maybe let me just see. So if you do click on the person that brings them up, the thing that sucks though is I don't think Nick Scorton did any of these clickable drills on NFL.com. I'm just looking real quick. Like I said, I'll pull it up here. But I really like Nick Scorton. I think you just put him on the end. He can stop the run. He can get to the quarterback. I have no problem with Nick Scorton. I think he's fantastic. I think he would. I think there's a chance that he could be one of the best players available at 29. And also kind of want to talk to, I know I'm not at the Combine, but, I'm still plugged in. I'm talking to agents. I'm going through everything, talking to other draft people throughout the day. I'm on my phone all the time, to be honest with you, during this time. But let me see. I'm just trying to catch up on all this beef between Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport. It's funny, watch this, because now Jordan just responded for the first time about it. But anyways, let's get back to football. I would have loved to have seen that fight. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. But yeah, I'll talk about players at 29. I'll talk about my standouts so far. Let's start with the edge guys, because that's pretty much wrapped up. Like I said, not everybody ran the 40. So if you're watching the combine, it is very selective. Like some people want to wait till their pro day, whether it's because of injuries, whether their agents just like, let's just wait till your pro day. But they'll also do some other drills. So like Nick Scorton was one. I'm trying to think who else. There was a handful of guys, D tackles and D ends that didn't do any like 40, like they didn't do the 40-yard dash, but then they did like other drills, which I prefer if I'm to watch, especially a D end, whether it's run the 40-yard dash. Obviously that like 10-yard sprint is like super important to me. That's your get off. That's like your burst off the line. I pay very close attention to that. What does that 10-yard split look like? Your 40, yes, I want your long speed to be good too, especially like in the run game, stuff like that. You know, if you have to go sideline to sideline. But I really pay attention to that 10-yard, but then also these drills. And I thought Nick Scorton looked really good. I thought Landon Jackson looked really good today. That's a guy that is going to be shooting up draft boards for sure. But let's get to some chats, y'all, and see what we got to talk about. Braylon said, I love Oladejo. I try to tell y'all at the Senior Bowl. If y'all remember that video I dropped, I said one of my favorite players here is a guy who literally just started playing on the edge. And he was an off-the-ball linebacker. His old linebacker coach was Ken Norton Jr., who was our linebacker coach. He was at UCLA the year before. And I told people, I was like, this guy like looks like he's been playing edge for a very long time. I am a big fan of Olawafemi Oladejo. I don't think he ran the 40. I don't think he ran the 40, but he looked really good. I know he had a good 40. I mean, a good vertical. There he is. He had a 36.50 vertical. Like, I'm taking that all day long. He's pretty much a linebacker that went to the edge. So that's really good numbers for him from what I expected. But Landon Jackson a 40.5 and Shamar Stewart 40. I mean, that's ridiculous. Those numbers are insane. Shamar Stewart, and we'll bring up my guy Math Bomb. Shout out to him. Shamar Stewart's possibly the first ever 10 on the relative athletic score, which would be crazy, but he checks out everything. Shout out to Ken. He works his ass off for this website, trying to keep up with all the numbers and stuff. He's got a lot of linebackers right now. I was trying to find. Yes, here's Shamar Stewart. It's an unofficial 10, but still just absolutely bonkers. Our first 10 watch of the season. This ranked first out of 1,802 DNs from 1987 to 2025. It would be nuts. But it checks out for how crazy he looked. I really wanted to see my guy Nick Scorton's chart. I haven't seen it yet. James Pierce Jr. obviously checks out. Had a really weird vertical. Only 31. That was kind of concerning to me. I was like, I did not expect that at all. But, you know, whatever. Everything else checked out. Obviously, his weight, 245. People are kind of calling him like, oh, you're like that outside linebacker, tweener kind of guy. All I know is he can get to the quarterback, so that's all I care about. Landon Jackson looked good. Where is Nick Scorton? I really want to find Nick. He might not have done his yet. Or he might just not had enough to really do it because he didn't run the 40, so that kind of takes out most of it there. But let's get to some chats real quick and see what we got before I get distracted again. What's going on the radar? Appreciate you coming through, man. Justin Jihad. Yeah, Jihad's insane. He's one of these guys, you know, he's listed as a linebacker, but he has so many elite traits, and a lot of teams are going to put him at, you know, edge, kind of like, you know, Abdul Carter went from linebacker to edge, kind of like, you know, Chop Robinson. I mean, a lot of these, it's a known thing. I mean, even Femi Oladejo, same thing. You're getting these big athletic linebackers. The thing that surprised me with Jihad is just how elite he is at like coverage, though. Like at Alabama, y'all know I'm an Alabama fan. We had Dallas Turner, and then we had Will Anderson. So he was like, hey guys, I'll just move to linebacker. It's whatever. I don't really care. I'll play anything. And then he turned out to be one of the best linebackers. I mean, he's the best linebacker in this class by a mile, but just in the country, he was the best linebacker. And it wasn't just rushing the passer or stopping the run. Like, he was an elite coverage linebacker. It's just crazy at how good he is at everything. I don't see him making it out of the top 20 either. I would be shocked. Biggie said, Josh, I didn't get to catch it today, so I'm going to need a good recap for us, brother. Junebug, man, I'm going to see what I can do. What's going on, Max Bone? What's going on, Chef Dre? Appreciate you, man, holding it down over there in Arizona. Is there a chance Peters and the crew get real impressed by an edge player and not go for Miles G? I mean, I say yes. I said this earlier on Twitter. Like, there's going to be a really good edge rusher at 29 for Washington. And, we can pull up. I went ahead and did this too with just the players that were today. I did linebackers, edge defenders, and then inside defenders too on PFF's big board. Really breaking it down, and they'll readjust this. Like, there'll be changes after the combine. Like Shamar Stewart, they have him listed at 23. I promise you, he's going to be in the top 15 by the time they're done. I think a guy like Mikael Williams could be there at 29. I think that's a possibility. I think the more obvious one would be Nick Skortson, who, like I said, I'm still high on him. I don't know if they've updated these yet. 6'4", 285. I don't think he's that big. And I want to get the right number. I know Draft Network also tweeted out all of the measurements. Shamar Stewart was 267. Yeah, Nick Skorton's down to 257. 257. So that's something I've noticed from a lot of these guys at the combine as well, especially D tackles, but also some edge guys. There was guys cutting weight. They had Mikael Williams listed at 265. He weighed in at 260. Stewart was listed at 290. He weighed in at 267. So I really want to see what Nick Skorton runs on his 40 at his pro day. He was 6'2", almost 6'3" today at 257, 33-inch arms and 10-inch hands. It's like, I'll take that. Slightly smaller arms than Shamar Stewart, but bigger hands than Shamar Stewart. And Mikael Williams is just a giant freak too. He measuring at 6'5", 260, 34.38 arms, which is insane, and 10.25 hands. Mike Green was actually pretty undersized. He's got small hands. He's got shorter arms. Weighed in at 251. So I'm happy with his weight, but everything else is a little bit small, 6'3", whatever. But I'll keep that up over here on my phone just to look it up if I need to. But I think at 29, if we keep that pick, not saying oh, there's one player we really like, so we're not going to go get Myles Garrett for that reason. If Myles Garrett gets traded, I promise you it's going to be right before the draft. Some team is going to just say, this is our final offer. And we've already seen Myles Garrett speak publicly. We've seen their GM, Andrew Berry, speak publicly about it, how they're not moving him. If Myles Garrett gets traded, it's not going to be during free agency or nothing like that. I really think it's going to be all right, they're going to milk it to the last minute. And maybe it's post-draft and they just get 2 firsts for next year. Maybe they wait to see, okay, we can get Abdul Carter, or we pass on Abdul Carter for Cam Ward or whoever and get a really good edge rusher with their second pick. And okay, Myles, we'll move on. Let's get a 26 first and a 27 first. That 27 first is the holy grail because of how good it's going to be. But I don't think you just say, oh, there's one player we really like, so we're not going to get Myles Garrett for that reason. But and it's fair saying this as an overall edge group. first round, second round, you say, hey, if we miss out on Myles Garrett, it's fine because we have a Donovan Izurike. We have Nick Scorton. We have a Mikael Williams. Like, we have those opportunities, or Landon Jackson, Princely Umanalian. Like, you have so much. Jack Sawyer, I think he could go up a little bit higher, especially 44. So I'm not saying there's one player is going to stop you from getting them, but as a whole, it's not like the end of the world if you don't get Myles Garrett. Obviously, you would love to get him. You would love to get him. Surprise guy to fall to 29. I would say Jalen Walker. I think he's a top 20 guy. I would say Jahad Campbell. I would be shocked. So Walter Nolan is a guy that we can definitely talk about that could possibly fall that far because there's concerns about him too. I don't know if it's like, it sounds like it's character concerns. I don't know what exactly it is, but there's been a lot of chatter already just the last 2 days. There's teams that don't even have him on their board. I want to say it's a like lack of effort on plays. Like, he's either all in on a play or it's just like, what are you doing kind of plays. That's just what I've gotten out of it. I don't know if it's true. Like, I need to watch more like Walter Nolan tape to be like, what the heck is he doing on that play? But I, talking to somebody today and I saw it pop up a couple of times. There's actual teams that don't have Walter Nolan on their draft board at all for this reason. So like maybe that's a guy. And there's been a handful of players that have had this like character concern, or like a guy like Mike Green who had an off the field issue, apparently like a sexual assault case at high school and Virginia, which led to him getting kicked off the team. I still don't think Mike Green falls that far just because of how elite he is. And I think you can put him up there with Shamar Stewart, honestly, about he's just super productive though. So if anyone was to fall, in my opinion, maybe it's James Pierce because of the motivation thing, but I would be stunned if James Pierce goes to 29. So for me, it would be Jahad Campbell, Walter Nolan. The dream would be for Williams to be there. He's only 20 and a half. That's what I look for. And the guy's just a giant freak. Williams and Shamar Stewart's definitely not going to be there. And Scorton, because he's only 20 and a half as well, are like my dream picks at 29. I think Williams would be number one. Let me catch up to y'all's chats real quick. Appreciate y'all. And guys, I haven't been live in a while. I apologize. I've been sick. I'm still sick. But we got this. Darius Alexander had a really good day. I thought he was moving. Let me go to D tackles. Let's do the dash. Yeah, Darius Alexander, 4.95 at his size. That's amazing. Like, I'm taking that. This was one of my top guys. If I had a top 5 guys at the Senior Bowl, he's one of them. Once again, like, just remember that video I dropped at the Senior Bowl. Darius Alexander was one of my biggest winners. Him, Ioannis Peebles, and he looked really good today as well. They were like 2 of my favorite D tackles at the Senior Bowl. 305, 6'4", 34-inch arms, 10-inch hands. Scoring well in production, athleticism, everything like checks out. 4.95, a 1.72 10-yard split, 31.5 vert, 9.3 broad. I mean, the 40-yard looks good. The 3-cone drill, like everything looks good. I think Darius Alexander, and I love the drill, like the wave, and they're doing it like right now with the linebackers, where it just shows the change of direction in these guys, especially the D tackles. A lot of them were like losing their feet if you were watching it today. A lot of them were like falling over, and apparently they like changed the turf out on the field, which is kind of stupid to do before the combine, to be honest with you. So a lot of players were like tripping and falling and stuff. But Darius Alexander was one of those guys I thought he just looked really smooth in these drills. Like, that's one thing I'm really watching for in these drills. Some people are like, you don't really get anything out of it. I disagree. Like, you get to see, like, especially like when they bend their knees, how low like they play, how their pad level when they're moving. But then also like how stiff they look, like how fluid are they in movements, like how natural does it look? Like there's some people that you're watching, you're like, man, he looks like he needs some like WD-40 in them knees. Like he looks a little stiff. But I thought Darius Alexander had a really good day. I was really happy with that. Hafiva said Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham didn't participate. Yeah, both of them are out with like small injuries. We've seen that too, and it's not like the All-Star game where people are like, opting out and like, oh, I'm going to focus on the combine. I'm going to focus on this. There's been like small injuries. I mean, we saw with Abdul Carter and his right foot injury, decided not to get surgery, which I thought was the right move. These small injuries, because they're getting, medicals, they're getting checked out as soon as they get to the combine. Like they're getting measured, like everything's getting checked out. Like you are getting examined head to toe to make sure everything looks good. And there's a couple little injuries that have been there. Kenneth Grant had one. I know Mason Graham had like a bruised heel or something like that. They just said it wasn't worth him doing it, especially as like a top draft pick too. Both of those guys are ridiculous. Both those guys are insane. I mean, I think Kenneth Grant is a pretty good lock for top 10. I think Mason Graham's number one D tackle, and I agree with this. I think Kenneth Grant's there too. I think Derek Harmon is really high. If Derek Harmon goes to 29, first off, I don't see it possible, but there is a lot of Chris Jones in Derek Harmon's athletic score, and apparently he's been absolutely blowing the interviews away, like perfect interview. Like people love this guy. Derek Harmon, like there's not many people I would like say, oh, I would trade up for him. But Derek Harmon is one of those guys in this draft where I'm like, I would definitely trade up. If you're getting rid of John Allen and you're looking for a guy to start next year, Derek Harmon would be the guy. There's no character concerns. There's no motivation concerns. This is a straight up baller. He's built like Chris Jones. He plays like Chris Jones. I think this is a guy who's going to have a very long career. Derek Harmon is one of those ones, in my opinion. I think he's going to be really good, but I think he's going to be out of position for Washington. I would be shocked if Washington were to trade up. I would honestly be shocked. Josh, how would you feel about Jihad at 29? I think Jihad at 29 reminds me of somebody. And shout out to Ghost, by the way. Ghost energy drink. Getting me through the combine. Imagine Jihad Campbell with Dan Quinn. I see Micah Parsons. I see Micah Parsons in Jihad Campbell. I think he's that elite at, rushing, but also same thing with Micah Parsons. He played linebacker and he went to edge. It's that Penn State pipeline. Micah did it. Chop did it. Abdul Carter did it. Jihad Campbell is doing the same thing. I see Micah Parsons and Jihad Campbell, man. I really do. I think the athletic build is there. I think the elite explosiveness, that's what pops off. If you haven't watched Jihad Campbell, and I forgot who it was, someone, maybe it was Daniel Jeremiah, did 2 mock drafts, and in both of them, he had Jihad Campbell going to Washington at 29. And everyone's like, oh my God, a linebacker. Like, this is the stupidest thing ever. That's not it at all. Can he play linebacker? Yes, but this is a guy who's going to be your edge. So, like, I'm not mad at it at all. Am I, like, blown away by it? Like, it depends who's there. If Mikael Williams is there and Jihad Campbell's there, I'm like, man, I just love that big athletic freak of, Mikael Williams. But Jihad Campbell would be a home run. And he is, like, the exact kind of player Dan Quinn would absolutely love. He would love Jihad Campbell. Let me pull up some Jihad Campbell numbers and see what we got cooking for him. Because this guy, like I said, you're going to see those 2 letters, linebacker, and just think, this is like, we don't need him because we have Luvu. Bobby Wagner's probably coming back. That's not the case at all. Can he play linebacker? Yes, but that's not going to be it. 6'3", 235, 32.5-inch arms, 10.5-inch hands, which is bigger than a lot of the other edge rushers. 32.5 and 10.5-inch hand, like that checks out as an edge rusher. 10'7" broad jump, and I forgot what I thought he did the vert. Maybe he didn't. But production score 78, which is second among all linebackers at the combine. Athleticism score, he ranked third for a guy who's projected to be an edge. He was third among all linebackers, guys who were smaller than him. That's the crazy thing. He is more athletic than a lot of these other linebackers there, and he's pretty much going to be an edge guy. So just an elite prospect when you think about the traits that he has, the things that he's going to do on the field. And if you didn't watch him at Alabama, you missed out on like one of the best, like one of my favorites in a very long time. Probably since like Reuben Foster and Dante Hightower. Like it was that good. And Deontay Lawson's good too. I can't wait to see him next year. Really liked how Oladejo looked. Yep, love it. Radar said we got a bunch of Commanders on the field today. Yeah, we do, man. We're about to draft everybody. That's how I feel after watching the comp. Like, I'm telling you, the D tackle group, man. The D tackle group got me so fired up. Like, I'm so glad that's who started all this, because I was like, man, I want all of them. I want all of them. And that's what really makes this, and I've talked about it a little bit with this John Allen divorce, we'll call it. Let's keep it on the dash. That's what makes this easier. But it's not like, and I want people to understand this, it's not like Washington just said, hey, guys, John Allen's on the trade block. We're done with them. That's what it is. Blah, 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 blah. And we've seen this with multiple players now. Agents see that this is a really bad free agent group, and they say, hey, we think we can test the market and go get a bigger, longer and more guaranteed money from another team. That's the trend this offseason. And you're like, wow, why are all these players, getting granted permission to go seek a trade? I mean, there's probably like, 10? It seems like every team has like at least one. It's because the free agent group is so bad that agents are like, this is our opportunity. You only have 1 year left on your current deal. Let's go explore the market. Let's see if someone else out there, because the free agent group is so bad, like, hey, we still need a D tackle, or we need a safety or a linebacker or whatever it is. Let's go see if we can find a trade partner, and then go back and say, hey, they're willing to trade. They're willing to give us the contract we're looking for. Now y'all can talk about it. And if a trade can get done, cool. It's not like Washington just said, hey, guys, like, we are looking to trade John Allen. We don't want him anymore. And Adam Peters spoke about this at the combine. The agent came out and said, hey, Adam, we would love the opportunity, because there's only 1 year left. And it sounds like, and I mean, he said they really didn't. An extension was never talked about with John Allen. That didn't seem like an option. That didn't seem like it was an option for Washington. They were just going to let him play out 1 more year, and then, hey, you're going to free agency. And then you probably get like a 3rd round comp pick or something like that for John Allen when he leaves in free agency next offseason. But the agent said, look, we have no guaranteed money left. We want the opportunity to go to other teams and see if they are willing to give John Allen a contract we're looking for with guaranteed money in it, with more than just 1 year, probably like 2-3 years or something like that. And if the team says yes, they are willing to, we'll go back to Adam Peters. We'll go back to Washington and say, hey, these are the list of teams. And look at Jahad Campbell flying on the field right now. These are the list of teams that are willing to give John Allen the contract he wants. Now it's up to Washington to really, get that done and see if they can find a trade partner. Same thing with Debo. Like I said, there's like 10 different guys out there right now. Same with Cooper Kupp. I forgot who it was. Seahawks safety just got it today. The Patriots D tackle. I'm blanking on names. But that's what we're facing this offseason. But a D tackle group like this makes it to where it's like, okay, if we can get a pick out like for John Allen, we feel like we can replace them. You have to assume Jerzon Newton's going to take a leap forward. But this D tackle group is so freaking good. Like in the first round, you could probably get a Darius Alexander if that's where you want to go. Second round, you're looking at like I don't know if JT Sanders goes that far. Or Talik Williams might be there from Ohio State. Shamar Turner, the other guy from Texas A&M. Alfred Collins, I love Alfred Collins. So there's a couple different options there for you. But this free agency group just isn't good. So people are looking for bigger contracts for that reason. Let's see what we got here in the chat. If both are available, would y'all rather have Burden or Jihad? Man. It just really depends on what you're doing for agency. But if we kind of go into the draft and we're like, oh, our wide receiver room still sucks, I would definitely go Luther Bird. But if we, sign Khalil Mack or something like that, then I'm like, okay, we're good on like a Jihad. Not saying I wouldn't still draft one of these guys. I would, Jack Sawyer, Braden Swinson, or maybe it's like a later round guy on the edge, whatever. I still would. Brandon said Jihad could be another outside linebacker edge, the same way Ryan Anderson was used. Oh man, Ryan Anderson. I ain't heard that name in a minute. Yeah, Ryan wasn't the best for us, so I kind of hate that analogy, but it is the same thing. Jihad is just he's a way better prospect. Jihad's he's an explosive. I mean, he's a firecracker off the line. He's insane. JT Tulamawau, yeah, I would love to see him. I know we do have a formal meeting with JT planned. I don't think we've had it yet, but I know we are meeting with JT. Yeah, right here, the PFF has him listed at 51. He's about to turn 22 years old. I do like him too. I would take JT Tumalau and Jack Sawyer probably in the second round. I don't know if I'm taking them there at 29. I don't know. Elko says that as an Ohio State fan, JT isn't that good, honestly. I feel like he has spurts where he's like really, really good. Then you don't really hear from him. Then he's really, really good. Then you don't hear from him again. Kenneth Grant double teamed all year. Yeah, it did. Him and Mason Graham on the same line is insane. That is absolutely insane. That's why he doubled down today and said he has no intention of being part of the Browns. He doesn't want extension. He's given teams 2 months to put together a deal. Exactly. I think Myles Garrett, the Browns are going to be fighting about this for a while. I think they're going to be fighting for a while. I think it's going to, if he does get traded, which I honestly would be shocked if he does get traded, it's going to be like a week or two before the draft. Do you think some of these guys are tanking their stock on purpose? Abdul, Kenneth Grant, absolutely not. Especially Abdul. Abdul was very adamant about wanting to go number one. Like he tweeted about it. Like he doesn't care where he goes. He's like, I want to go number one. And Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, they both did have injuries. So that's why. Landon Jackson, Jihad Campbell, James Pierce Jr., Derek Harmon were my favorites today. Solid list. I'd say those are top guys so far. And I was looking at next gen stats, by the way. I haven't messed around with this yet, but they have a really good like combine measurement board. We can see like Derek Harmon, like where he ranks compared to other players, like arm length, weight, height, 3-cone short shuttle, 40 time, production score. I mean, really high. Like I'm gonna mess with this all night. Obviously, Mason Graham, Walter Nolan, and Kenneth Grant didn't do anything, but it just shows you size comparison, and then also Talik Williams, Ohio State, how much he stood out, and then my guy Derek Harmon, who, like I said, I'm very high on. I love this. I don't know when they came out with this, but I saw people talk about it, and I was like, let me go mess around with it real quick, and I haven't used it a ton, but I'm a big fan of this. Like, especially like wide receiver, I'm going to use this a lot for wide receiver. I'm going to use this a lot for running back. It'll tell a story big time. I think that's like the two positions using this kind of graph. And like I said, it's on, if you go to NFL.com, you just go to like Combine IQ down here, or go to Next Gen Stats. That's what I did, and it brought me over. So definitely recommend using that too. But it's been fun, like just breaking that down so far. Let's see. Darth Game said, "What's your players in order if they're available at 29, like Pierce, Stewart, and Scorton?" I mean, it would probably go Stewart, Pierce, Scorton, but the chances of Stewart being there, in my opinion, is like 1%. The chance of Pierce being there, I would say 15%. And then Scorton, I'd say he's definitely the most likely. I'm going to say 90% for Scorton being there at 29. Radar said, I need those character concerns to drop Walter Nolan to 29. See, that's a question I've been getting a lot, like especially like this week with the combine and like rumors and stuff going around. And maybe, I mean, y'all can tell me your thoughts on this. If a player like James Pierce or Walter Nolan has character concerns or like motivation concerns, that does not sound like somebody that Adam Peters or Dan Quinn would want in their locker room. Now, of course, they're going to sit down with the players if they haven't already. I guarantee you they have. They're going to sit down with these players and actually ask them the questions and get to know them and be like, hey, like what happened with this event? Like what happened? Like what's your motivation? Like people saying you're not motivated. What is that for? Like what does that mean? So they're going to like get to know them. But just my opinion, I don't see, I don't see, like, we're not the Eagles, and, you know, respect them. They go get the Jalen Carter. They go get, you know, the players that have questions, like concerns, whatever, and they ball out and they're really good. But I don't know if Adam Peters would do that. That's just my opinion. I just don't see it. As long as you're not dealing with guns, gang or robberies, or hitting a woman, you good. They will draft you. So that's what I'm saying. Mike Green, his was like a sexual assault case twice. I don't know what was going on. Colton Whitaker said, check out Zeke Biggers. Yep, Georgia Tech. 34.5 vert at 321 pounds. Also, I don't care how early we take him. Go get Femi. I am a big Femi fan. I would love Femi. Like personality-wise, he's like one of the coolest dudes ever, too. Like, hands down, like, he's a perfect fit here. Perfect fit here. I would love to see how he goes on the edge, like at the next level. And then if Ken Norton Jr., I know he's a linebacker coach, but if he's like, you know, on the coaching staff, has his old coach back, I think it's perfect. Yeah, JJ looked good. They had him doing some fullback drills too, which was funny. But he scored a ton of like rushing touchdowns this year from like a Wildcat as a D tackle, which is nuts. I would move Luvu to Mike, and he can do the same as Frankie. Oh, yeah. And yeah, talking about Jahad Campbell. I mean, I agree. That's what I like about Jahad Campbell too, is like if something happens, like if Luva gets hurt or Bobby Wagner gets hurt or something, you can move Jahad Campbell to linebacker and it would be crazy. Like you wouldn't even notice the difference. We need to stop worrying about position. Talent is talent. I agree. That's a good point, Jay. If Jahad is there, you take him. Yeah, Mikael Williams is a dog. He played injured almost all year too. Yeah, he said he was hurt. Same with Deion Walker. When I talked to him, he said he played with a hurt back all year. And especially with his size, that's really hard to do. He's like, what, 6'7"? I'm still really big on Deion Walker too. I know he's really big and he plays high. I get it, but I think someone's going to get a really good talent with Deion Walker. I wish we could just like watch the drills on here. That would be amazing. Let me check D tackle verticals. Yeah, Zeke, as you mentioned, 34 and a half. Ty Robinson was another dude that was really athletic. I really like CJ West. I've been high on him all season. Ionis Peebles, like I said, became a big fan at the Senior Bowl. Tonka Hemingway. Poster King said Darius Alexander is how old? Let me see. I think he is older. He's probably like, what, 24? They don't have it listed. I want to say he's like 24. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. I like JJ as well. Good character guy. Big time. Yeah, big time. Are we not forgetting Louisville was a rushing linebacker last year? I would move Louisville to Mike. He easily after watching Bobby can take Mike, let Bobby go to Raiders for money. I want youth and speed. So that's the one thing I'm struggling with too. Like I love Bobby Wagner, but if you can get younger and faster and more explosive, can you do it? Like, do you replace a really well-known linebacker, really high tackles? Oh, Smail Mondon just got hit in the face with a ball. Damn. They hit him right in the eye. Dang. That looked like it hurt. He just took a ball right to the face. But do you feel okay letting Bobby Wagner go? It just sounds like he's coming back. Like if I had to bet money, it sounds like he's coming back. He was at the press conference with Josh Harris at the end of the season. I mean, even Dan Quinn mentioned Bobby yesterday at the combine. He's like, "Oh, I know Bobby's somewhere like getting better today. Like I don't know how or where or what, but that's just Bobby. Like he's just getting better at something." Love Jackson. He's a great in run defense. I agree. That's the one thing. I am super picky with my edge rushers this draft. They have to stop the run. Have to stop the run. So don't if let's see, Donovan. I think he can stop the run. Yeah. So for an example, Donovan Izarike, very productive, 14 sacks, high run stop rate. I mean, grades off the chart. This is a guy I would even take at 29. This is a guy I would take at 29. But if you're talking to me and you're like, Josh, I want, where is he at? This is one I get a lot, and it's nothing against him. Where is he at? There he is. Kyle Kennard. He cannot stop the run. 10 sacks. He's productive. He can pass rush. But I'm sorry. If you can't stop the run, you're not going to be on my list. You're just not going to be. And there's a good amount of edge rushers in this class that have that. Jared Ivey's another one of these under the radar guys. He's not terrible at stopping the run, but he's pretty good. Ole Miss's D line, by the way, was just freaking nuts. Omar Norman Lott, I'm really high on him as well. I would love to get him. Josiah Stewart's a guy that can stop the run. Boom. 8.3% run stop rate, upper percentile. Jordan Phillips is a guy that I think will be linked to us because he's young, he's an athletic freak, and he's a good leader. He's super raw, though. Elijah Roberts is a guy I didn't know anything about, but he looked really good today. This is a guy that's testing off the charts as well. I mean, he played really well against Clemson, played well against Penn State. This is a guy I'm adding to my list because he looked really good in the drills today. 8 sacks last year, 13 the year before that, 7 hits, 45 hurries. The dude has almost 100 hurries in the last 2 seasons, which is ridiculous, and a really high run stop rate as well. So Elijah Roberts is a guy that I didn't know anything about until I watched him in the drills, and I was like, holy smokes. Yeah, sign me up. That guy looked really smooth. Trying to think who else. Savion Jones. Ahmad Hassanin is the guy that he looked good too. Apparently he just started playing football. He's from Egypt. But yeah, we can talk about JT Toole in a while because I see a couple things about him. I doubt if Pierce or Stewart are there, we have a better chance with Scorton. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to be their year too late guy before high ankle. He's getting cooked outside tackles or any type of screen. Talking about Jackson. With the Commanders, we need not only talent but chemistry as well. I agree with that. Like, that's what I did last year, especially like with Ben Sinnott. I was like, we need guys. The only ones I'm really paying attention to are like the personality guys that really fit this team. You can be as good as you want, but if you don't fit the team, if you don't fit like what we're doing, if you're a selfish guy, if you have character concerns, you're probably not going to be on my board. So, and I mean, like I said, I'm paying attention to like what people are saying about these players. I'm talking to the agents. I'm talking, Sometimes I talk to the players. Some of them you can just kind of tell you're like, eh. Some of them are really cool though. Kyle Williams, what's going on, Biggie? Kyle Williams, book it, go up to fourth and get him or stay in the fifth round. I don't want him to pass us. Man, you know I love Kyle. And we don't have a fourth round pick. I can see a case where we trade back from 29. And this is something this is something too. I mentioned this on my last mock draft I did about trading back. And then Adam Schefter said something about it. Was it this morning or like last night? And this is a pretty like consensus, something like I said, I heard it at the Senior Bowl a lot. And now it's starting to heat up a lot here now too. For me, it's like pick 20. Some people say it's like pick 15. Some people even say like 13, which I think is a little too early. But the players from pick 20 to like pick 40 or 45, when you're looking at the overall draft grades that you have for these players, they are going to be a lot closer than they usually are. So what I'm saying is in other drafts, the player you get at, let's just say, pick 22, you would probably have like an 8 grade on them or something, like a 7.5, like something really good. You're like, all right, this is a year one starter, Pro Bowl caliber type player at pick 20. But at pick 40, they might be like a low 7, high 6. Like, yeah, he's going to be a solid starter for you, maybe a little bit of developmental kind of guy, but, you can rely on him. Probably not a Pro Bowl guy, but just a good starter kind of thing. But this year, it's like, okay, the player at 20 is probably going to be like a low 7. The player at 40 has a good chance of being a low 7 as well. And that's when you're just going to get this giant Chex Mix of players. And we see it already in the draft every year. Like, just think about it. You do these mock drafts. You're looking at mock draft boards. And, I mean, a guy like Sennett, people like think like, oh, he could be late third. He could be like in the fourth. And he gets, taken where he's taken. A guy like Johnny Newton, like, oh, he's like a top 15 player. He falls to us. It never goes the exact way. It never does. And that's the beautiful thing about the draft. It's not it. They don't just go down PFF's big board and say, okay, Derek Harmon's 21. Let's take him next. And, go with that. That's not how this works. Boards for every team are so different. So for me, I feel like you're going to see some random players at like between 20 to 32, in that, end of the first round. And then you're going to see some guys in the beginning of the second round like, holy smokes, I didn't think they would be there. And for me, some of those guys that could go higher than expected, Donovan Ezerike is one of them. TJ Sanders, Talik Williams for sure, Landon Jackson for sure after this combine he just had. Like, it would not surprise me if Landon Jackson's taken in like the first. In the back end of the first. So just be aware of that too. There could be a guy we take at 29. Like Donovan Ezerike would not surprise me. Landon Jackson wouldn't surprise me. Talik Williams wouldn't surprise me at 29. Princely Umanmielen would not surprise me. Jack Sawyer, he might surprise me. Alfred Collins, maybe. But just be ready for that. Once we get to like pick 20, I have no idea who's about to get drafted. Because it's going to be all over the place. Let me get back to the chats real quick. Shamar smoked the 40. Yeah, he did. He looks really good. JT Tuimalau, I did not see him do anything, to be honest with you, at all. Yeah, Ayuk, I don't know if he's on the trade block, but they said that they're like listening to trade offers for him, which is crazy. They just paid him and then he tore his ACL. So that's like the worst time too. What's going on? Appreciate everyone checking out the live stream. Hit that subscribe button. I love Jack Beck. Fans hate it because he went to TCU. I don't care. Him and Savion Williams both really good. Super chats should be on. If they're not working, let me know, but they definitely should be. It says monetization's on for the channel, so it definitely should be. Let me know if it's not working though. But yeah, that definitely should be working. But definitely check in on that and let me know. Oladejo looked amazing. Yeah. I think for him, I mean, just the athleticism surprised the heck out of me. Like I said, I honestly had no idea who he was at the Senior Bowl. But then once I actually like got to see him going off the edge, I was like, man, this guy plays with his hair on fire, like super high energy. And even at the combine, like he's getting hype. He's like, they're like talking to him for the drill, and he's like looking at the other guys like, hey, y'all, like give all your effort on this like drill, y'all. Like stop like being lazy. So I like him a lot. Let's see, so much talent in the trenches this year. Absolutely. I'm excited. Like I want to leave with something in this draft. I want to leave with something in the trenches, man. At D tackle, at edge, like for a free agent group that's not that exciting. This draft just gives you it's so like everything you want to look for in an edge or a D tackle. Like, what do you want? They've got it in the draft. You just got to pick what fits you the best. So that's what I'm really excited about after free agency is really diving in and be like, hey, Nick Scorton really fits Washington. This is why. Or, Mikael Williams really fits Washington. This is why. And I think that's my favorite part. Like I said, people just say like, oh, this guy's good. Like just plug him in, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they don't fit. It's all about fit. And that's when the board starts to get, like I said, shakes up and players start going earlier or players start to slip. You're not just taking the best wide receiver available. You're taking one that fits. You're not just taking the best edge that's available. You're getting what fits what you really want to do. You have a certain job that needs to get done. What player is going to do that job the best? Tyler Barron, I don't know where I would have him at. I haven't watched him a ton. It's just the group is so deep. And that's what I like. Like, there's going to be some really good edge rushers in like the 4th or 5th round that turn out to be really quality starters. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, we leave him with something. Most teams will draft based on needs this year. I think so for sure. A third, I could see it. I haven't heard that Washington offered for Brandon Ayuk. I can tell you that with Debo, things have been progressing really well. And I would be shocked if we don't get Debo. I would be shocked. But from just talking to people like in the circle, Debo wants to come here really bad. Like, we are Debo's first choice. And we're definitely interested in Debo. I would honestly be shocked if we don't get Debo. I don't know if it's going to be a trade or if it's going to be like a release and signing thing. Can't say too much yet, but we are definitely interested in Debo. And it would not surprise me if we traded John Allen for Debo and ate a little bit of Debo's money. That's all I'm going to say. It would not surprise me. We leave him with something. But I just don't think I would trade for Ayuk coming off an ACL injury. Like, I know he's friends with, with Jaden and all, but God, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. They screwed up paying Ayuk that much. I think somebody like Stephon Diggs or Tyreek Hill wouldn't fit our team. I think I don't know, like. I would love Tyreek Hill. I'm good on Stephon Diggs. He's a weird dude. Kenneth Grant's a beast. I wish we had a chance at him. Some good D tackles in third round. Ain't bad. Ain't taking DT at 29. Yeah, the depth definitely does help you out. But I'm just saying, if, like I said, I know it's almost impossible. But if Derek Harmon is there at 29, I'm absolutely doing that. Like I said, I think that he is going to be damn good, and I see the Chris Jones comps. If Warren is available at 2021, do we make a trade up for him? Career tight end for 15 years. I don't see it. First off, I don't see him getting past like the Colts. Like I don't see him getting past 15. Chef Dre knows. Debo coming to Washington, bro. Like Debo's coming here. Oh, Debo did not talk trash about Washington. No, not at all. I think Debo would be amazing here, actually. And people are saying he's like 20 pounds overweight. No, he's not. That there, I don't know if y'all listen to John Keim's podcast, but he talked to the 49ers insider, what was it, like a week or two ago. And he said that Debo showed up to camp in like the best shape of his life. So if you think Debo just gained like 20 pounds, like randomly, I don't know what to tell you. I think there's a lot of negative, false information about Debo out there. He never said he wanted to be a wide receiver one. He wanted to be treated like a wide receiver one or paid like a wide receiver one. He never said that. And I'm glad he even went on Twitter and quoted that stupid tweet and was like, I never said that. ACLs are nothing today. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I'm not paying him a ton of money at all. But yeah, Debo didn't talk trash. That was Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams said he hates our fan base and he hates our stadium. He hates everything about Washington. So yeah, we're good on Devontae. Devontae can go rot with Rodgers and on the Rams. I wouldn't trade anything for Debo. Just sign him when he gets cut. I mean, essentially, yeah, it's like best case scenario. But like, I would not be mad if we traded like a 6. I would not be mad at that. Tyreek is misunderstood for his playmaking, but I'm all in as long as he's affordable. I mean, yeah. And they even said like they're not 100% sure that they wouldn't trade Debo. I mean, Tyreek Hill. So like, I would be all for it. Can't wait to see tight ends and running backs run the 40. No, we haven't seen. I was doing a little mock draft earlier. We haven't seen. Let me see if I can go back. We haven't heard from the running backs and stuff yet. That happens tomorrow. But I was trying to see participants. Maybe they'll tell us. Like, I would be shocked if I don't think Ashton Genty's doing anything on the field. I cannot wait to see Travion Henderson. I love Dylan Sampson. I love him around Hampton. I like Quinshon Judkins. Tutton's really good. He's about to be super fast. I'm a big Damian Martinez fan. We've already met with Damian Martinez a couple times. I think, like I said, I'm talking to his agent. Texted him earlier. I'm pretty sure he's meeting with Washington either tomorrow or the day after. I can't remember how to check. I've got so many texts to read. But I would love Damian Martinez is my sleeper. If you're getting him in like the 3rd round, I think he'd be running back 1 next year. Dude can play in gap. Dude can play in zone. And I mean, I saw a chart earlier that showed like running backs, like percentage of the time they were tackled behind or contacted behind the line of scrimmage. And Damian Martinez is like top 3, but he was also like top 3 in like yards after contact. And I mean, the offensive line did not help him at all. The run scheme didn't help him at all at Miami, and he still produced a ton. So I'm super excited about this running back group. Devon good show from the Patriots. He's on the trade block too. I just don't know what the price would be. I'm not good with trading a lot of these draft. Like I know that I keep saying this is not the best draft, but I trust Adam Peters to find those 5th round gems, to find a 6th round guy need be, especially at D tackle. If you're going to rotate somebody in, like if you're going to get somebody in the later rounds at D tackle, Is it edge? Yeah, JJ would be a good one. Jamari Caldwell would be phenomenal. Probably have to take him in the third. Excuse me. Probably taking him in the third. But Caldwell, he's one of those guys that can move. I like Caldwell a lot. Ionis Peebles, like I said, really good guy. I know they're on like the shorter side of things, but man, the dude, if he can get hands on you first, Peebles is winning reps. And same with Jamari Caldwell, the dude can scoot. I'm telling you, someone's gonna get a fantastic value on Deion Walker. I stand by that. I'm a Deion Walker fan. We're talking like 5th, 6th, 7th round. A D tackle. Oh, look at my boy Olu. Damn, they got him up to 139 now. Sheesh. CJ West. Love it. Jaw Joyner at edge. Big fan of Jaw as well. I like Tim Smith. Zeke Biggers. They have him at 191. So if you're looking for a late round interior D line, Cameron Jackson's another guy we've met with per his agent. If I don't break my computer. Another big dude, 6'6", 342. I think he dropped down to like 320 something. So yeah, I would be all in on Cam Jackson, Zeke Biggers in the late round, and CJ West. CJ West is definitely the best of the three. I mean, the grade speaks for itself. The dude, he's fantastic if you haven't watched him yet. I'd be happy with Cup. I think I'd like Cup too. Dre said Debo's 221 right now. Dre knows. He'd be cooking for him. And Debo's out in Miami right now too. I'm surprised you didn't go with Debo to Miami, Chef. I'm still taking Kyle Williams, bro. Him and Debo and Reed. Come on now. That'd be insane. But Kyle Williams fits this team so freaking well. So well. Martinez, dude, I'm telling you, Martinez is going to be fast tomorrow. I think he's going to be fast. I think his speed is super underrated. Like people, I don't think they've measured anything yet. Have they? No. 5'11", 226. They haven't compared to Dante Foreman. Tempo-based runner with sudden acceleration. I like that. That honestly is him. Very good contact balance. Big, powerful runner. Super nimble. That's him. That's literally what you watch on tape. Going from Oregon State to Miami was such a difference in run scheme. Like it was complete opposite, and you couldn't even tell. Like I am super excited to see what Damian does. If I had to pick three running backs I like for us that fit perfectly, I would go Travion. Dang. I want to say Amarion Hampton, but you'd have to get him in the first. I'm going to pick 4. Amarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, Dylan Sampson, Damian Martinez. Those are my top 4 for Washington. Easily. So 40 times I'm interested in. Tez Johnson's going to, good God, he might get 3 seconds. That dude. Absolutely insane. And I'm still sick, by the way, guys. I apologize. I'm coughing and drinking water all the time. I had the worst flu ever. I'm still got that freaking cough. Savion Williams at 6'5". I can't wait to see how fast he is. Harold Fannin should scoot. Elijah Arroyo, I don't know if he's running. Can't remember. I feel like I saw something that said he's not doing drills. And then, Travion Henderson, I want to see his speed too. Debo instantly becomes the second best skill position player in offense. I don't know what people are complaining about. Exactly. People are just so sold out on T. Higgins. It's not going to happen. And I know he did the little emoji or whatever, and he's talked. I'm sorry, but T. Higgins is not getting out of there. He's not getting out of there. People just and Chris Godwin, he's going to go back to the Bucs. So you just have to realize what is actually available for you. If you get Debo, it's not stopping you from drafting a Trey Harris, a Jaden Higgins, a Kyle Williams, or if you want to go someone in the slot, Jalen Noel or Tez Johnson or someone like that, or Savion Williams. It doesn't stop you from doing that. You still have to build out the wide receiver room. Rashad Smith is fast. Oh, yeah, he's crazy. I think he's also doing reps at wide receiver as well. I'm pretty sure is what I saw. I think Trayvon will have the second fastest 40 time for running backs. There's one that's faster, but I can't recall name. Samson, maybe. Rashard Smith is going to be pretty high up there. Man, I'm trying to think who would have the fastest 40 time. Henderson is going to scoot. Samson's going to scoot. Tutton's probably going to be the fastest. If I had to guess, he's probably going to be the fastest. I would say him. Woody Marks is small, so maybe him. But Rashard Smith can fly. RJ Harvey can fly because he's small. DJ Giddens can fly. He's small. Taj Brooks is small. Jaquindon Jackson. Yarns can fly too. I think he's getting wide receiver reps tomorrow as well. But yeah, there's speed in this running back class. But what I like a lot about Martinez is you're getting that speed, but you're also getting the power, the vision, the contact balance. Like for me, he's a complete running back. And same thing with Trayvon Henderson. Like if we get Trayvon Henderson, Dylan Sampson, who's barely 20 years old, or Damian Martinez, I'm super hype. People are forgetting Damian Martinez before he transferred, like went back to school and transferred. He was like the number 2 or number 3 running back in the class, like lock. But then he goes to a different, run scheme, and he still had a really good season. It's not like he had a bad season. He had a really good season. But then, like, Genty goes crazy. Trayvon Henderson went crazy. Samson went crazy. And Marion Hampton goes crazy. Like, it happens. But someone's going to get a fantastic value in Damian Martinez. Henderson 4.32. Watch. Put a bet to your bookie in Vegas. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 4.29. I mean, he is fast, and he fits us to a T too, with personality, leadership, just being a grade A kind of guy. Oh my God, Adam Peters is going to fall in love with Trayvon Henderson. If they don't draft him, he's going to think about him every day. So yeah, Gronkowski's not coming back. Whoever said that made it up. Ian Rappaport and all of them, even Gronk came out and said he's not coming back. That was just some random dude talking out of his ass. Even with Underdog, shout out to Underdog, use my promo code JTFB, you'll match your deposit. You can bet on 40 times, which is amazing because there's nothing to bet on that I care about right now. Arroyo sub 4.4, I could see it. He's extremely fast. I think he hit 24 miles an hour this season, which is nuts. When healthy, of course, don't want anyone that needs to get him. Oh, yeah, I don't either. A little off topic. Heard anything about John Allen to the Vikings? I have not. If I had to pick 3 teams for John Allen, I would say Seattle, Detroit, but I would rather send him to the AFC, so I'd probably say Texans or Dolphins. That's what I'm thinking. Texans or Dolphins. Scadaboo. Dude, Scadaboo is a lot of fun. He's just one of those really good prospects. Really good. Curious to see Jaden Blues 40 times. Same. Dude, he is going to fly as well. Chef Dre said, I'll be in Miami in a few days. Have a wedding indicated this weekend. Man, just keep sharing those pictures of that food. She looks amazing. Enjoy Miami, man. It's going to be a good time. Because I'm super excited. Let me pull out my schedule real quick for the combine. So tomorrow is DBs and tackles. Tight ends. So they had team interviews, medical exams, and everything yesterday. Today they did media interviews and team interviews again. And then tomorrow they do on-field workouts. So tomorrow's DBs, so corners, safeties, whatever, and tight ends, which is great. And then we also get bench press for all the guys today. So kickers, D linemen, and linebackers. And then they leave and go home. And then we have running back, quarterbacks, which we don't have to care about for once, which is amazing. And wide receivers on Saturday for workouts. And they did interviews yesterday and tomorrow. So, like I said, I know we met with Damian Martinez. I think we met with him yesterday, is what his agent said. And then they work out Saturday, and then Sunday is offensive line. So honestly, like, what I like about how it's broken up is that it's position groups that like we care about. We got defensive line today, interior and exterior. We got kickers. We did meet with Miami's kicker too, Andy Borealis. We met with him as well. And then tomorrow I'm still interested in tight ends. We don't know what's going to happen with Zach Ertz, so I'm watching tight ends for sure. But then also DBs. Safety is not out of the question. Depends. If it's like an Andrew Makuba, or if we don't get Chin, like a Nick Amanwari from South Carolina. But then also corners. We've been linked to a lot of corners. We've met with Quincy Riley from Louisville twice now. And, guys like Trey Amos, big-time Washington guy. Maxwell Harrison, big-time Washington guy. So I'm watching a lot of corners tomorrow. I have my list of corners to watch. I have a couple of safeties I'm definitely watching. I think we need depth at safety too. I don't see Percy Butler coming back. I don't see Derek Forrest coming back. But then also starting corners, depth at corners. St. Juice is probably not coming back. Michael Davis isn't going to be back. So you need another starter, whether it's in free agency or it's in the draft, but you also need some depth guys, whether it's in free agency in the draft. So tomorrow I'm definitely watching a lot of corners, watching some safeties, watching a good bit of tight ends. And then Saturday on the field, we have, like I said, watching a ton of running backs and then watching wide receivers. Don't care about the quarterbacks, obviously. And then we end it Sunday on the field with offensive linemen. So I just like how it's broken down because it gives me something to watch every single day that the combine's going on. It's not like, ain't gotten just strictly quarterbacks this year. Don't care about it because we got Jayden Daniels. Like, I don't have to watch it. And it is on like all day too. So we'll see. But tomorrow, let me just go here real quick. Corners, Azariah Thomas, yes. Jahdae Barron, yes. Revel, he's not doing anything yet. That's a guy I'm trying to stay in contact with. We follow each other. He's going to be healthy by training camp. I don't know what all he's going to be able to do, like at pro day and stuff like that, but he's still doing interviews and stuff. Maxwell Harrison, yes. Trey Amos, yes. Benjamin Morrison, yes. Darian Porter, I'm a big fan of too. Noah Williams is a sleeper of mine. I think Dorian Strong's a sleeper. Kobe Bryant's a dog. Quincy Riley is the guy we met with twice already. O'Donnell Fortune's a sleeper too. Mac McWilliams is a sleeper. I like him as a depth guy for sure. Mello Dotson's another guy I like. Robert Longerbeam from Rutgers is a sleeper. Jabbar Muhammad, he's just not good in the run game, like tackling wise, but he's really good in coverage. He has got like a 7th round grade on him, which is crazy because he was pretty high when he was at Washington before he transferred. And the same with Jason Marshall Jr. He had an injury at Florida. A lot of corners in this class had an injury, but a lot of really good corners I like for sure. Let me do a couple more chats and I'm gonna hop off of here. Fun fact: Trayvon is from the same hometown as Darrell Taylor. Trey was a couple years from them being in the same team in high school. Hopewell. I heard he was from Hopewell. Puts out some NFL caliber players from being a small school. They do. He's just a generally good dude too. By the way, Josh Trey is a commander. If I've ever seen one, you're right. AP will kick himself if you don't draft him. I'm telling you, I would love Trayvon Henderson, man. He's a beast. I've been watching your videos the past week. I just subscribe. Really appreciate your interactions with the chat. Appreciate it, JG. Like I said, I've been sick as hell the last week, man. I wasn't able to put anything out for a few days, but it's not holding me back. I don't care if I have to edit it afterwards and I'm just coughing a ton in the background, but man, I was down for the count for a while, but I'm bounced back just in time for the combine, so I'm good. Yeah, Andy's definitely got a leg. Him and Ryan Fitzgerald are my two favorite kickers in this class. I would not be mad drafting one in the 7th. We need a long-term kicker. Please, for the love of God. Kobe Bryant is a dog. I love his mentality. Yeah, the quarterback class is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Josh, I still love that smaller big boy from the Chargers you pointed out at 5'11", 290. He balled out and get him cheap. Yeah, Poona Ford. It sounds like the Chargers are going to be revamping their D-line. I would not be surprised if they go get Milton Williams from the Eagles and draft somebody, but they've got a lot. God, their whole D-line could change. Khalil Mack, Poona Ford, Tart, Bosa. I mean, that's 4 guys that could potentially go. So I don't know what the heck is going to happen there. Fannon's one of those weird ones. Super productive. I think he goes. This tight end class is really good too. There's going to be teams that prefer a Mason Taylor over him or a Gunnar Helm over him, just because his size is a little tweener-ish, but he's so good. He's so good. I think I would. I think he's a 2nd-round pick. I think he's a middle second for me. But I think there's gonna be teams, like I said, would rather have Gunnar Helm than him. Obviously Tyler Warren, Colson Loveland, those are 1st-round guys. But after that, Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, some of those guys, they might have them over Fannin just because he is that little tweener with his size and everything. But I think he's gonna be fantastic. Ohio State corner. Trying to think which one. Denzel Burke. Yeah, Denzel Burke. I don't know how I feel about him. I feel like he's hit or miss. Jordan Hancock, I feel like he's going to be more so safety. Yeah, Burke, I'm a little hit or miss on. I feel like Azariah Thomas, man, talk about a stud. If you draft him, you're getting a really good corner. O'Donnell Fortune is the pick I make if I missed out on a corner with my first 4 picks. And it's a good one. I think he's really solid. He had a good week at the Shrine Bowl. When do I expect Washington to start re-signing players? So I said this not too long ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we re-signed. Well, I don't want to say re-signed, but gave Terry a new contract before free agency, like a 3-year deal. Kind of like what we saw with Khalil Shakir that just happened. I think teams are going to start, re-signing their players earlier and also extending in-house guys with the extra money that we got, the salary cap, before free agency, just because, like I said, the group's not big. So it wouldn't surprise me if Terry, we have it's a week on Monday, which is nuts. I'm ready. I'm about to go live for the entire day on the 10th, by the way. I think it starts at noon. I'm genuinely thinking about doing an 8-9 hour stream. We'll see. But I'm just trying to think who they would re-sign quickly. It would be Bobby. It would be Zach Ertz. I don't know if a guy like Jeremy Chen wants to go test his market. That's the thing, too. It's going to have to be guys on the team that are I'm not even testing the free agency market. I want to stay here. Let's work on a deal. It's going to be those kind of guys, or it's going to be these 1-year guys, like I said, like Bobby or Zach Ertz. But it wouldn't surprise me if that happens next week. But maybe some of these guys are going to want to go test the market and see what it's like before staying. but a lot of players want to play here. So it's like, hey, Diami, if you want to go test the market, if you think you're worth more because you have this little playoff spurt, cool, go test it. But I'm just saying, we can replace you with Darius Slayton. We can replace you with players. I'm like, people want to come here. Like, we're not begging players to stay here anymore. Biggie said, Josh is the man. Josh Gigolo or Josh Diggler. Keep keeping it real, homie. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And y'all hit that subscribe button for sure. If you haven't already, hit the like button as well. Definitely blowing up the channel this month has been crazy, so I appreciate y'all. Do you think we would be interested in Milton Williams? He's going to be pricey. He's going to be like 20, 21 mil a year. I just don't know about that. I would rather draft a rookie. I would rather go get one of these stud D tackles. I would much rather go get one of these stud D tackles. Not saying he's not good, but just investing that kind of money. And it sounds like the Cowboys and Osa are working on a deal as well. So that'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there if they end up getting a deal done. Ian Rappaport said tonight that they're not close, but they are working on it, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. So the running back class deep. I'm not surprised if they go defense with the first 2 picks for real. It would be hard to watch Trayvon Henderson go somewhere else. But if we got Damian Martinez in the 3rd, it would fix it for me. I'd be like, okay, I'm good. Telling y'all, I'm so big on Damian Martinez. Do not sleep on him. Who's the next Jordan Reed for us in this draft? If we find him again, sheesh. I'm not saying comp wise, but let me see. Players, I do like Mason Taylor a lot. Let me just go to the tight ends. Yeah, I think Colston Loveland goes in the 1st. I think Tyler Warren goes in the 1st. I do like Gunnar Helm. Elijah Arroyo is like the athletic freak. If you want like a comp closer to Jordan Reed and you went to Miami, like for me, Elijah Arroyo is like an athletic freak. But then yeah, Mason Taylor. I do like Harold Fannin. Terrence Ferguson. After that, it kind of falls off. Arondé Gadsden. I do like him a lot. It's going to be someone who's just a really good athletic receiving threat. Kind of maybe around, I would probably say Arondé Gadsden or Elijah Arroyo. That would probably be, I think Elijah Arroyo might be my closest to Reed. Yeah, Jordan Reed and Ertz the same age. That's crazy. The what if around Jordan Reed is insane. Like, what if? Would he even still be on the team? Like, there's a legit chance he could still be playing for us, which is crazy. You think Jeremy Chin gets signed first? It wouldn't surprise me. But if he says, hey, I kind of want to go test the market and wait till free agency, I'd understand. Brashard Smith and Damian Martinez would go crazy in our backfield. Absolutely. I think that'd be nuts. Brashard Smith is going to be such a receiving weapon. Mason, Taylor, and Jaden have history. Oh, I know. As an Alabama fan, I saw that clear as day. I asked Mason Taylor a little bit about Jaden at the Senior Bowl. He was with Jason, his dad, by the way. Shout out to Jason. And he was like, yeah, man, Jaden's a baller. Like, he would definitely love to be here. Yeah, Gadsden. I'm a big Gadsden fan. Ty Robinson, James Pierce, Jihad Campbell. All killed it. Fast. Everything looked good in the drills, man. That was a good one. Hey, it's all right. I'm still not over it. That touchdown that beat Alabama, or was it 2-point conversion? I can't remember if that was a touchdown or 2-point conversion. But see, Ty Robinson, James Pierce, Jihad Campbell, honorable mention, Demetrius Knight. Demetrius Knight is another one of those athletic dudes. I just don't know if I'm taking a linebacker that high. Jack Kaiser, I love Jack Kaiser too, though. He's another dude. Tyler Warren is an immediate weapon for Jade. Oh, absolutely, but there's no way he's making it. Let's see. Teams that need tight ends. Panthers, Saints, the Dolphins, Colts need one. He would be a perfect Colt. The Broncos, like, there's no way. There's no way. The Chargers, like, it would be a miracle. I think Warren is a top 5 overall player in this draft, which might be crazy. I just think he's that good. But there's no way he's going. There's no way. Yeah, Jack Beck, actually, he was at LSU. Was it 2 years ago and then transferred? I mean, what a crazy God. Wide receiver room in LSU is just like Ohio State. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, Warren's going early first round. You would have to trade up for him. I just don't know if we would. Like, you would have to go up far. You would have to go to. You would probably have to trade. You're not trading with the Cowboys. They're going to say no. San Francisco at 11, Chicago at 10 is like your only hope. Because if not, you have Dolphins, Colts there. One of them's taking them for sure. So when I did my mock draft simulator, they had him going to the Dolphins at 13 for Tyler Warren. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way he makes it past 14. Like, I think he would be. I hope he doesn't go to the Colts just because their quarterback situation sucks. But he would be like the perfect Colt. Like, he fits what they need. Everything about him is exactly. Madrino is interesting. I think this dude could be a special team juggernaut, but could be more. I haven't seen anything about him. I gotta watch him some more. Yeah, Warren's nowhere close to seconds. Not take first round just as a player. Kyron Lacey, I don't know. He swears he's innocent, but he's not. He's not at the combine. Like, he's not getting invites to anything. So I don't know. I wasn't always that high on Kyron Lacey anyways. But they have him ranked all the way down at pretty much undrafted now, which is crazy. Would you sign him if he goes undrafted? I don't know. You got to get that whole situation figured out. That's not good. That's not some small. Like, that is a major problem. Major problem. Doubt if Chicago wants to trade with us, they probably still butthurt. They definitely are. And Ben Johnson's a cornball. I saw mock with the Jets taking Genty. My gosh, that would be idiotic. They need so many other things. They do, but Genty is amazing. I was surprised we actually met with Genty too. Not a lot of people have talked about that, but we actually met with Genty. That kind of surprised me. Adam Peters wants more picks. He won't trade picks away. He proved that last year. So that's one reason why I think an actual trade at 29, like trading back, is possible. It would not surprise me. Yeah, Lacey's lawyer released a statement, and I think he did a tweet a couple of weeks ago. We haven't heard anything since. Timothy said, in the moment, I'm going to be sick if I spend 3 to 4 hours all day of one of the draft just for them to trade down. I know it's the worst, but I still love it. So if we trade back from 29 and pick up a top 90 pick, and we're only going back to like 33, 34, something like that, I'm all for it. King Cobra said Jack Beck about to go crazy in the NFL for his late brother. That was the coolest moment of the Senior Bowl for me. Like, first off, he balled out all week. Really good guy. But then, like, catching the game-winning touchdown as the clock hit 0 and just, like, collapsing in the end zone, like, balling. Shout out to Jack. That dude catches literally everything. Reyes, yep, I can almost bet he's looking for more picks. Yeah, probably because we don't have a 4th-round pick. And Jack Beck, they have him ranked at 39 now. So they have him as a early 2nd-round guy. I'm going to do it as soon as free agency's over. I'm going to go heavy on the draft and, like, especially wide receiver fits I like and stuff like that. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, guys. And I'll probably do, let me think. I'm either going to drop a video tomorrow night or I'll go live again tomorrow night. But if not, I will. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll do Saturday night. I'll go live Saturday night. Weekends are usually kind of weird because I'm like people are usually like out and stuff. Not me. I don't go out. I just watch football. That's my entire life. So, but I appreciate everyone for coming through on here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that like button as well. And like I said, I might drop something tomorrow, but if not, I'm just gonna watch the combine, take a ton of notes, live tweet everything. So follow me at Josh Taylor FB. And if not, I'll be back Saturday night to go live. Just check out the YouTube channel and see, because I like to post ahead of time, like, hey, I'm going live Saturday night, like it's posted there. So just keep an eye on that, y'all. But I appreciate all y'all for stopping by on this Thursday night. And Hafiva, appreciate you, man. And I'll catch y'all next time. Enjoy the combine. They're showing the replay, so if you missed anything, you can watch it right now. They just started it over. And tomorrow's going to be exciting. I think the schedule is like so weird, by the way. I'll end with this. Tomorrow it is 3 to 8:30 Eastern time. I don't know who made the schedule. Today it was 3 to 9. Tomorrow it is 3 to 8:30. And then it's 1 to 8 on Saturday and 1 to 6:30 on Sunday. Just one hell of a schedule, whoever made it. Appreciate it, JG. Everybody's sick right now, like especially on the East Coast. I don't know how, but all that Virginia sickness and the DMV and all that came down here in Texas and got me. But yeah, I'm still taking medicine on the daily. But I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I will see y'all Saturday night. Peace.